Good evening, Lamb Chop. It is I, your favorite fluffy vampire Bluma. Oh, wait a minute. Oh boy. Hold up. I don't know, why does it always do this? Oh, hi. Hold on, I can fix it. I fixed it last time. I'll fix it again. God damn it. Aha. Perfect. Okay. Dude, love it when the sound just decides to come out of a different speaker. Anyway, how are we this morning? Alright. We're gonna get into this. Hopefully we finish chapter 3. I don't know how much more there is. Probably get a start on chapter 4 as well. Honestly. Just like when I was looking at Sun. I can fix him, I swear. The temple was much larger than the compound in Mibu, as advertised. Oh yeah, we had to move to a bigger mansion, partly because Sanan is like, quote unquote, maybe not a vampire, and we have to hide him so he can fake his death. Still tired. How'd last night's stream go? It was alright. Very, very chilled, more laid back. Not a lot happened. Death of vampire? Pfft. Yeah. No, we just did a lot of maintenance in the cult last night. Didn't do much crusading. The whole Shinsengumi could gather in the common room with space to spare. Oh yeah, and because we were recruiting more people too, because a bunch of people died in the last raid or something. As Kondo spoke, his voice echoed grandly through the hall. Standing before Kondo were the many proud men under his leadership with glowing expressions. Oh, it's probably way too quiet. Hold up. Bet you can't hear anything. There we go. Now you should be able to hear them. Jesus. Shit, working our way up. God, I always feel like Hijikata's mumbling, even to me. Speak up, I can't hear you over like the Japanese instruments in the background. You're definitely fucking mumbling. You snake. You actual snake. Ito wiped crocodile tears away from his eyes with a silk handkerchief. Ito and his followers were told Sanan died. In fact, the entire incident surrounding his transformation had been covered up. Only a few of the men in the Shinsengumi knew the truth. Weren't they getting the new locations to keep Sanan away from Ito? Yeah, that too. They faked his death, so now it's like they're in such a large compound, Sanan can kind of move without being detected there. He's doing his same job that he was. He's still like our advisor, but now he's also mostly healed, so he can use his sword again. So I imagine maybe he does the night rounds, kind of, sort of, I would think. Oh boy, more people sick.
土方さんは大げさなんですよ。
何言ってやがるんだ。さっきも咳してただろうが。
Well, it's gonna suck when you just die of pneumonia or something.
それ、薬を売りつけるための工場ですか？何を言われても石田さん薬は買いませんよ。
そんなんじゃねえよ。いいから。
Shut up, he said. I gave Okita some pretty strong medicine not too long ago. I wonder if that didn't work. Or maybe he doesn't have a cold, but rather he's inhaling dust from the lack of cleaning here? And suddenly someone raised their hand. Finally someone told you to shut up.
せっかくの晴れ舞台、全員揃って家持ち子をお迎えしたかったのだがな。
すいません。
ああ、いや、責めたわけではないんだ。体調は大事だからな。いずれまた機会もあるであろうし、二人にはその時存分に働いてもらいたい。
Hondo and Hijikata continued to discuss their formation, but suddenly Hijikata turned to me.
そういや、雪村。お前はどうする？
Huh? What?
ボケてるんじゃねえよ。お前は警護に参加するのかって聞いてんだ。
It's like he finally accepts it. That he's like, oh my god, but just, are you coming with us or are you staying here? I'm not gonna tell you which way to go because I know you'll just do the one you pick anyway. Like, I can go too?
無論構わんとも。君も今や新選組の一員と言っても過言ではない。ぜひ参加してくれ。
Could I really go? I hesitated for a moment, confused, and Okita laughed.
まあ言ってもいいんじゃない？そんなに危険もなさそうだしね。
I just want to know so I can plan accordingly. Yeah, that's the energy. What should I do? I'm just a little concerned about a person like me, who's not a warrior coming along, but I was feeling emotionally strained with no leads on my father turning up at rounds. I'll go. Wow, didn't even give me a choice. Game's like, you're going. Ah yes, you need your little messenger. I'll be using the hell out. He's gotta watch how he phrases some shit. That ain't... Whew. Okay. Focus. Here we go. In the early days of the Tokugawa shogunate, Nijo Castle was a place for the shogun to stay on his way to the capital. It's been a while since the shogun actually stayed in it, though. We'd met the shogun on the road and began our escort about 30 minutes earlier and arrived at the castle relatively recently. But now I imagine Kondo, Nagakura, Inoue, and the men were all getting their officials and other important people of the shogun's Well, I've got a job to do. It was my job to tell the soldiers when to change shifts and to carry messages back and forth. A glorified errand girl, in other words. I don't see myself as being useless, though. I think. I've come with a message. Hey, hello, sailor. I remember you. Bitch! Well, I'm not here to play. Such confidence. Bitch, I'll rough him up. I'll fuck you up, boy, and then we'll get married. I've come here to do what I can. Would you mind if you stop playing games? Yes, sir. The chief is currently going around, paying his respects to the people of the castle. Everyone else continue the guard. Mr. Maybelline. Huh? That's it? It's that simple? Well, no, I just, Damn. Okay. Miki and I never really got on the best of terms, but maybe he is a responsible person. After he shooed me away, I continue attending to my duties as the messenger. In the surrounding Nijo Castle, I can see the warriors wearing white uniforms, which is different from the afternoon uniform. They don't seem too nervous, but I guess that makes sense. Some of the Imperial Nationalist extremists were driven out of Kyoto, and many warriors fled. There's no way anything would happen. There's the demon man. Oh god, here we go. A sudden chill rang the length of my spine, and I froze. I knew this feeling. A length of cold steel seeking entry into your flesh, eyes shining with the lust for blood and violence. Since I've begun living with the Shinsengumi, I felt it more than once. Bloodlust. My eyes were drawn to the roof, where no one would think to look. A large wall cast a shadow, shielding the section of the roof from the moonlight. And there they stood. You don't know how down bad I was for this blonde man the first time I read this. Holy shit. You! They looked very distinctive, unlike any soldiers I'd seen before. But 3 sets of piercing eyes scattered my thoughts, making it hard to think. Yeah, the one in the middle. He's not a vampire. There's no vampires. I swear. But man, they really, write these guys like they are vampires. I had recognized them. Now I had to put names to the faces. Sure. Bro. Yeah, Chikage Kazuma. Oh my god. Oh, he's the one I romanced it when I first read this book. And then when I read Edo Blossoms 2 for the channel, we immediately picked his route. I was like, vampire adjacent counts. Yeah, you know what? Fair. Kyuji Amagiri and Kyo Shiranui. They were connected with both the Satsuma and the Choshu, and they made an effort to impede the Shinsengumi at Ikeda and again at the Hamaguri. Why are you here? There you go. They're demons. He said it. You're here for me? Oh. What? My heart was pounding so hard it could burst. Why do these men know my name? I don't understand. A demon? What do you mean? And why are you here for? Nah, you must be joking. He stepped forward, cloaked in shadow. When Amagiri spoke, it was calm and peaceful, as if he were resounding to a frightened child. I held my breath. How does he know my secret? I've never revealed it to anyone before. Well, Words struggled to come to mind, and just as I was about to deny their accusations... Oh god. Shiranui's gun glistened eerily. Oh my god, I'm a demon? As Kazuma glared at Shiranui, his eyes drifted towards the Kadachi at my hip. A demon with amnesia, yeah. My family name? What's wrong with Yukimura? I didn't understand what he was saying, and the cold sweat started to drench down my spine. Then again... Oh, sorry. You go ahead, Chikage. I didn't mean to read your line. That explains why the dad was being so super saucy. Yeah. I hear a sword unsheathed from its scabbard, and someone stood in front to shield me. And this person is... Enjoying this Castlevania speech. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. His brave words were directed at Kazuma, but his eyes glanced to mine reassuringly. Me too. Iba. Despite him standing before me, I was in complete disbelief that he was here. What are you doing here? Come to think of it, it made a lot of sense that Iba and Okazume would be here for the shogunate. Yo, this BGM is kind of going hard. Kazuma flashed a hot white glare of contempt towards the blade pointing at his neck. His penetrating gaze burrowed into Iba. Iba was unshaken, and his resolve looked unbreakable as he stared at Kazuma. You could hear a pin drop in the silence of their sustained staring contest. Eventually, Kazuma turned towards Amagiri and barked commands at him. Amagiri shrugged, then sighed, stepping forward. He said, "Yare yare." Amagiri assumed a fighting stance, and an aura of rage began emanating from him. The hairs on my body stood up immediately. It felt as if I suddenly plopped before some creature, its fangs ready to sink into me. It's said that the talented swordsmen, when crossing paths, can estimate another's power by looking into each other's eyes without even drawing swords. Iba! My throat was dry from the nervousness and worry, and I screamed his name as loudly as I could. Oh man. But... Oh boy. Oh boy. He raised his voice, repeating himself, and I retreated slowly behind him. I didn't think there would be a chance Iba could lose, but I reached for my kodachi just in case. Iba regripped his sword and faced Amagiri. The tension seemed impenetrable. Then suddenly, Amagiri dropped his guard briefly, attempting to predict Iba's movements. Iba didn't miss that opportunity. He swiftly thrusted the tip of his blade towards Amagiri, but it was dodged immediately. Iba's eyes widened, and mine did too. Amagiri possessed superhuman speed, and my human eyes couldn't follow him. But Iba did not yield. Iba's swordsmanship was masterful, almost superhuman as well, and he was able to corner Amagiri. He moved like flowing river, his economy of motion was natural and in total control. It was so awe-inspiring I forgot I was watching a battle and not a performance. The compliments from Amigiri came as a surprise to Iba, and Kazuma as well, whose eyebrows furrowed deeply at the display.
喋りすぎだぞ。
A true battle between two highly skilled warriors left no room for movement or reprieve. In one side they would become distracted, even for a second, it would cost them their lives. Iba exclaimed loudly as he swung his blade with extreme amount of force. He had it in the bag, or so I thought. Oh no. He must have anticipated in his entire life that someone could catch his sword with his bare hands. Iba's expression was incredulous, and he gritted his teeth with frustration. Amigiri's eyes thinned before he spoke softly.
先ほどから狙いは腕や足ばかり。むしろ相手には本気を出せませんか。どうやら人を切ったことがないと見受けられる。
Oh shit. Iba stared silently, offering no response. It seemed as though Amigiri's suggestion was not untrue, and Iba seemed bitter the intentions were read as a short amount of time. Amigiri closed his eyes and shook his head, gesturing that he had no further intention of continuing their fight.
所詮将軍にこびるために座敷犬の兵だ。人を殺せぬ剣に一体何の価値があるという。おいおいおい、一体何を遊んでやがんだよ。
Oi, oi, oi. Oh shit. Shiranui grew impatient, and he pulled out his handgun in irritation. The cold steel shined, and the barrel was pointed towards Amigiri and Iba. No! Huh? Before I knew it, I was running towards Shiranui, and in a fit of confusion, I acted instinctively. I reached both arms, palms out, towards the gun that was pointed. In that moment, I heard a gunshot fire off, and it rang so heavily in my head I felt like my skull had slammed to the ground. After Iba screamed, there was a prolonged period of silence. Maybe I stumbled across Nirvana. As I attempted to recollect myself, I opened my eyes slightly. I guess Shiranui moved away at the last second, but then he took aim once more with his gun. His bullet had shot through both my hands. In the palms of my hands, crimson dripped through the new holes that had formed like a red spider lily. Yeah, I'm okay. I tried my best to play off the intense pain, forcing the strange smile through my teeth. Iba, however, looked like he was even more pain than when he was hit.
知らぬ。貴様貴重な女鬼の体に傷をつけるとはどういう了見なのだ。そんなこと言われてもしょうがねえだろうが。こいつがいきなり飛び出してきたんだからよ。あのままちんたらやってて人間どもが集まってきたら面倒なことになったかもしれんわ。確かにそうか。我が方人間どもの血でいたずらに怪我す必要もないだろう。
Kazuma unsheathed his katana. Its bright, binding sheen disoriented me. Once again, Shiranui pointed his gun towards Iba. Amigiri quietly moved into his fighting stance. Oh my god, squad. Although he tried his best to keep the prosperity of his stance, Iba was looking shaken, and he was sweating from the battle. He was having trouble when it came to one-on-one, but now there was 3 to deal with. Iba gripped his sword with bloody fingers, and he slowly inched backwards. Then, all of a sudden... I heard a familiar voice in the darkness. Hell yeah!
ここでてめえらの面を拝むことになるとは思わなかった。
確か天霧だ。薩摩藩と懇意にしているあんたが何故ここにいる。
手怪我してるじゃねえか。まさかこいつらにやられたのか。八郎、急いでこいつの
They recognized the demons. Yeah, the demons were like wanted men. Like they knew that they were. They knew they're on the, because like he was saying, they knew they were part of the Satsuma domain, which is like one of the antagonist forces. They don't. I don't think they know they're demons. Maybe they do, but I don't think they know. But they know they're wanted men, though. I'm fine. This is nothing. Kazuma stared angrily in our direction as the Shinzugumi men arrived. Hijikata smiled wearily, pointing his sword towards Kazuma. God, I love Kazuma so much. Oh god. Kazuma was about to put Hijikata to rest.
Kazuma, ここは引きましょう。我々は目的を十分に果たしたはずです。我ら鬼はあくまで歴史の陰に住まう。
Kazuma briefly glared at Amagiri for discouraging him, but eventually his red eyes returned to me. Took everything in me not to squeak. Like, goddamn. Hijikata attempted to chase after Kazuma and his cronies. However, they disappeared as if they melted into the darkness. Iba nodded towards Harada, and the other man ran after Kazuma, disappearing into the night. Silence returned, and we all could hear the cries of insects and water in the canal. Iba was very gentle in approaching me, but I just couldn't show him any of my scars. There's no way I could let him see. This wound, where the bullet just pierced, an injury, one so serious it shattered bones, it was already healing. I can't let anyone know about my body. When I was a little girl, I remembered that I had made a vow with someone. However, Iba's tone grew increasingly concerned. Show him the hands! I want him to know! He should know everything about me. I'll show you my body. Anyway, I want to hide the secrets of my body, but Iba is a sincere person. Not only that, but Harada also had told him to attend to my injuries earlier. No matter how much I tell him I'm fine, I'm sure he wouldn't accept it. Down bad for Iba, I am. I don't remember, like, seeing him in, like, the other routes I did. I guess I've only gone through this one a couple of times, and I was always focusing on the Shinsegumi guys. Except for Kazuma. Kazuma, oh my god. Anyway, I don't think I've ever had, like, that one, the, like, CG that we had of him fighting Amagiri. I've never seen that, so we must be on his route somehow. I think. I'm gonna guess. I gave up and showed both of my bloody hands to Iba. He softly grabbed my hands and slowly, gently, wiping my wounds with his handkerchief. After wiping the dried blood, his hands suddenly stopped. I wouldn't blame him. The bullet wounds were supposed to be and my hands had completely vanished. His eyes thinned, scanning me for a conspicuous gaze, and then he looked directly into my eyes. You see, I tried to play it off, but nothing reasonable came to mind. I closed my eyes and hung my head. I know. This isn't ordinary, huh? No matter how many times I got injured, my scars would always heal immediately. I wonder when it was that I noticed it wasn't normal. Earlier, Amagiri had noticed that my body could do unnatural things. They all thought I was one of them, but who are they? If their words are true, then I must be. Suddenly, Iba put his hands on my shoulders. It startled me, so I gasped tightly and then stood up. Stood there with a warm, kind smile.
あなたはただの女の子ですよ。
Oh my god. It was as if he could read my mind. But why?
だって僕は知っていますから。ずっと昔から。
He tightened the grip on my hands and my shoulders a little more. His soft voice tingled my ears, and it felt nostalgic.
あの時に交わした約束。ずっと守ってきてくれたんですね。
What promise? Is it like I said? Is there like some cute little childhood romance with these two? And it's like, oh yeah, when we're older, I'm gonna marry you. And Okay. I responded a little surprised, but Iba quietly opened up before me.
覚えていませんか？一緒に手をつないでお菓子を買いに行ったり、コードーさんの蘭学書を二人で読もうとして、さっぱりわからなくて。
I wonder if he's the one who made the promise to not talk about the healing thing. Maybe. I always assumed that she was talking about her dad, though, when she said that. Maybe, though. Maybe you're onto something. Oh. The memories, ever so slowly fading through the years, started trickling in, gradually gaining color as Iba began to describe them to me. Yeah, that's right. When I was a child, there was an older boy that occasionally visited my father in order to read his books. He was a quiet fellow, always studiously reading. But she said someone like she didn't remember, just like Iba. It's true. No, you're right. You're right. I just it was like in chapter 1, didn't she? She also said like, oh yeah, my dad said not to bring up my healing thing because it was weird. But I don't know, maybe she is talking about Iba. Maybe I'm remembering wrong. It was almost impossible to imagine that the boy could have become a talented swordsman whose duty was to guard the shogunate. Hello. Hey, what's up? You're my 4,500 fan? Hell yeah. Woo! That was really you? I still couldn't believe it, and he smiled shyly to me.
はい。君の秘密もその時に聞かせてもらったんです。その時に交わした約束は今もはっきりと覚えています。
His words made me gasp. You can't let anyone know that your injuries heal quickly. It wasn't my father. It was Iba. See, she did think it was her dad. But we figured it out. It was Iba. And there was another thing I remembered.
あの時の約束覚えていますか？
It was a promise he mentioned. All of a sudden, I was thrown back into that fresh plume of Revere. His name, the name I used to call him, it came back to me. Hachiro. He squinted, as if the sun shined in his eyes.
そうです。
Unreliable narrator trope. God damn.
忘れられてるとは思いませんでした。
I mean, you've gotten so tall, Hachiro. I don't remember you being this gallant.
凛々しい。僕
My cheeks felt hot. I could tell I was blushing beyond belief. I didn't mean anything by it. I was just, you know, speaking out loud. And I only spoke what came to my head immediately, you know, like an ordinary girl. Iba's enthusiasm dropped a little, and his glance to the side for a moment.
そうですか。つまらないな。あなたにそう思ってもらえ。
Fuck, we fucked up. Maybe I shouldn't have tried to correct my own words and just left it as it was. But it feels strange telling him in person. I can feel my cheeks blush. The game's calling me out. Bro. Bro, you know it. You know it. Iba sternly shifted the conversation, however.
さっきの3人はあなたのことを同胞と呼んでいましたが。
I silently shook my head. That's the thing. I got no idea.
気になりますね。彼らは君に妙に執着していた様子ですし。
What could those men know about me? They seemed to know the history of my sword and my name. Suddenly,
おい八郎、雪村、どこにいるんだ。
the voice.
トシさんたちが戻ってきたみたいですね。話の続きはまた今度にしましょうか。
Yes, please. When we went back with Hichikata, Iba recounted what had just happened between us. But I guess in the end, Kazuma and his men disappeared, leaving no trace behind, and the men were unable to hunt them down. Since then, once the rest of the men returned, there was a meeting among the captains. The subject of meeting was the 3 men of the Nijo Castle, Chikage Kazuma, Kyuji Amagiri, and Kiyoshi Renui. They called themselves demons, and their previous encounters with the Shinsengumi suggested they were somehow involved in the Satsuma and Choshu. The Satsuma were the most powerful domain in the opposition, and the Choshu were publicly expressive of their dissent towards the shogunate. The Choshu were essentially enemies of the court, but I didn't know how these 3 men supposedly affiliated with these domains, but it was there abundant clear that they were not dealt with carelessly. There was another problem, however. Why did they come for me? They said I was one of them, and knew about my family name and my kodachi. But how? My name is Bluma Yukimura. I am the daughter of my father and my mother. I am a normal girl, nothing of the ordinary. But who am I? Damn, this is still chapter 3. This one was so long. Good thing I didn't try and finish it all last time. Oh my god. June 1864. The compound was alive with noise and movement. I passed several soldiers in the halls, each one of them excited about something. What was going on? Ito, something wrong?
どうしたもこうしたもありませんよ。私がなんであんな野蛮人どもと同じ部屋で肌をさらさなくてはならないの？
Looking at the guidance, saw you only like 2 out of 10-ish decisions through chapter 3. Oh my god, for real? Holy piss, this is a long one. Damn, Adult Blossoms must have really short chapters then. I thought they were all like kind of the same length. I was very wrong then. Like Adult Blossoms, we got through Kazuma's like good route in like, let's see, it was like 4 streams, so like a total of like maybe 5 or 6 hours. But holy piss, we've been in chapter 3 for now, plus adding this stream, we've been in chapter 3 for like 2 hours. That is nuts to me. Anyway, I'm glad Ito's getting fucked. Fuck that guy. I hate him. Is there something going on today? Ito did his best to collect himself, shakily adjusting his hair and clothing before he spoke. With a disdainful sniff, he glared pointedly across the hall towards the area he'd just left. The men were getting physical checkups, that much I knew, given my particular situation. I'd been exempted by the captains, who also gave me special instructions to stay away. He reminds you of the military dude from Mulan. Oh my god, I see it. I see it. I see it. He was also kind of a fuck. Just a little bit. Get fucked. You scared because you have a tiny pee-pee? Savages. That seemed a bit strong. At any rate, perhaps, I should go just see what a physical entailed. I am a doctor's daughter, after all. What's the doctor's name? What? Wait, Dr. Matsumoto? When I first did in Kyoto, my plan was to find Dr. Matsumoto. My father told me I could rely on him as the man to anything I would need. Unfortunately, he was away on business when I arrived, and after that... I'm gonna go watch the physical exams. There was no time to waste. Meanwhile, Ito has just no idea what's going on. Doesn't know, anything about me. It's just like, damn, you gay or what? You want to go see all those naked samurai? Is this it? I can hear loud voices from inside. Oh. The scene froze me in place.
次の人。おう、俺の番だな。一丁頼みます先生。
Oh boy.
どうすか。剣術一筋で。
They're flexing for the doctor.
この体。
新八さんの場合、体は頑丈だもん。見てもらうのは頭の方だよな。
余計なこと言ってると締めるぞヘスケ。
長倉新八と。よし、問題ない。次。
じゃあ先生、もっとちゃんと見てくれよ。
Not safe for work. All the boys got their chest out.
申し分ない健康体だ。
新八、後ろが使えてるんだからさっさと終わらせろって。
そうじゃなくってよ。もっと他に見るところがあんだろ。鍛え抜かれた鋼のようなこの筋肉とか。
Oh my god. What a line. Don't you want to order some beefcake? I got 2 slices right here. Oh.
診察は見てもらうものであって見せつけるものではない。さっさとどけ。
It wasn't difficult to see why Ito was desperate to escape. I couldn't imagine him as part of such a display. What should I do? I feel like it's rude to intrude.
雪村君、こんなところでどうかしたのか。
Ah, Yamazaki. Hello, I heard Dr. Matsumoto was here? Yazumaki didn't look like he was in the mood to tolerate my snooping, so I went to the point.
なるほど。松本先生に何か話がある。君のことはある程度聞いている。事情はおおよそ分かった。だが、診察がなかなか終わらないようだ。
What should I do? I guess I kind of want to do the route, I haven't done yet, so, nah, I'll take care of it. Oh, don't worry. It's my own business. I'll take care of it. Hello? What?
そうか。では、何かあったら手伝おう。その時は頼ってくれ。
Okay, thank you so much. Yamazaki and I parted ways, and I walked towards the examination room where the doctor worked.
君はもう少し胃腸に気をつけるようにな。この薬を食後に飲む。今の薬が効く。
I waited outside for Dr. Matsumoto until he stepped out of the examination room. Excuse me? He looked at me for a moment, his eyes narrowing in curiosity.
薬の補充も兼ねて休憩にしようか。君、ちょっと手伝ってくれるかね。
Oh, yeah, of course. What luck. Dr. Matsumoto?
松本先生、雪村君。
Oh, hi, Kondo.
おう、早速会えたようだな。
はい、おかげさまで。
What? I was utterly lost. Dr. Matsumoto laid a gentle hand on my shoulder.
私は君に会うためにここに来たんだよ。高堂さんの娘さんがここに身を寄せていると近藤さんが教えてくれたんだ。
Ah, I see.
高堂さんと松本先生が懇意にしていたことは俺も知っていたからな。何か高堂さんの手がかりになればと思い、松本先生が今日に戻ってすぐに連絡を取った。
The Shinsegumi had their own reasons for wanting my father found, but Dr. Matsumoto's appearance was still cause for joy. After a moment, Kondo turned around and faced me
そ
directly.
の仲立ちをしてくれたのが実は伊庭君だった。
Eva did? Eva did it for me. Oh shit, he's here. Eva then appeared from behind the building, as if he was summoned.
こんにちは。できればここには もっと別の用事できたかったんですけど。
He led us back inside the compounds in order to discuss the situation with the Furies. Hijikata stood behind, listening with intent.
高堂さんはこの新選組で羅刹を生み出す薬、落ち水の実験を行っていた。
Furies. His description matched the white-haired creatures I had seen on my first night in Kyoto. Dr. Matsumoto nodded, then turning to Iba, whose voice sounded oddly meek.
もともと羅刹の研究は幕府の手で秘密裏に進められてきました。幕臣の中でもごく一部のものしか知らされていない重要機密ではありますが、僕たち奥詰めの者は万が一に備えてその存在を知らされています。
Iba's expression turned sour as his sentence trailed off, as if he was reopening an old wound, and he turned his head to the side.
実験が始まった当初の羅刹はそんなもうひどいものでした。彼らと剣を交え犠牲になった者も数多くいます。その研究の一部を新選組で引き継いでいると聞いて確かめに来たのですが、
Iba looked to Hijikata's direction, waiting for him to see if he had anything to contribute. Hijikata gave a heavy sigh.
そこまで分かってんなら今更隠し立てしても始まる。俺たちが幕命で羅刹の研究をしてんのは、そうなった経緯については話すと長くなる。ここに薬を持ち込んだのは
高堂さんが羅刹の研究を。
When my father's name was dropped, Iba immediately turned to face me. I gave a small nod. Yeah, I didn't know anything about it either until I came looking for him. Iba's eyes widened, and they looked frantic as he faced Dr. Matsumoto, who merely nodded. Then Iba, who seemed unsatisfied that everyone else was lukewarm to the news, faced Kondo and Hijikata.
近藤さん、トシさん、率直に聞かせてください。新選組は今後羅刹をどうするつもりなんですか？
Hijikata's brows furrowed, and he paced back and forth, caught in a pause as he attempted to gather the right words.
どうするのどうするの。羅刹の研究は幕命だ。俺たちの一存でやめるわけにはいかないよ。
Kondo's face scrunched, and he kept silent, his eyes fixed to the floor in front of him. I assume this means Kondo shares the same feelings as Hijikata.
もしこのまま実験を続けて万一のことがあったらどうするつもりなんですか？ここには戦えない人もいるというのに。
As he cut himself off, Iba glanced in my direction with a look of concern. Neither Kondo nor Hijikata answered, and they closed their eyes and crossed their arms in sync.
もし幕府の意向に逆らえないというのであれば、僕が直々に上役に掛け合っても構いません。
私も伊庭君に賛成だ。ありゃ人間が扱いきれるものじゃない。
Dr. Matsumoto's tone was stern, but Kondo and Hijikata were staring at the floor.
トシさん、
Iba was impatient, or became impatient.
危険な代物だったよ。
それなら
あいつらが戦力になってるのも事実だ。
He cut himself off. Even when he looked frustrated, the structure of his face was quite handsome. What the fuck? Iba couldn't come up with a solution on the spot, and then he looked down with a sheepish expression. Then someone arrived and broke the silence.
答えづらいのであれば、僭越ながら私の方からお答えしましょう。
Sonan, are you feeling okay?
さすがに切り合いは無理ですが、少し話をするぐらいならどうにでもなります。
Sonan joined our circle, and then he turned to face both Dr. Matsumoto and Iba.
もし落ち水が扱いきれぬ代物だということになれば、おそらくは処分されるでしょうね。羅刹となったこの私も含め。
なんですって？
Iba was shocked by Sanan's suggestion. He appeared out of breath, struggling to find words that were sympathetic to Sanan's position.
なぜあなたがあの薬を。
Sanan simply stared back at him, stoic as ever. I could have sworn I saw a brief flash of crimson in Sanan's eyes as he began to smile wearily.
哀れまないでください、伊庭君。私はこうして羅刹となったことを喜んでいるのです。
喜んでいるですって。
はい。左腕を負傷し、剣客としては死んだも同然のこの私は、打ち水によって見事生き返ることができました。あなたも剣客であれば片腕を失うこと、そして戦えず隊の役に立てぬことがどれだけ苦しいか。そう。
It seemed as though Iba was unable to prove any of the Shinsegumi men wrong, and he was silent. He'd known Kondo, Hijikata, and the others from back in the Edo days, which meant that he knew Sanan then as well. To hear that one of his old friends had become a fury, I'm sure it caused a great deal of pain, and he was confronted with a moral dilemma.
こうして忠告してくれた君や松本先生には申し訳ないと思う。ここで実験を取りやめてしまうことは三男君を見殺しにするのと同じことなんだ。高堂さんを探し出すことができれば三男君や羅刹となった皆を元の人間に戻す方法も見つかるかもしれない。
Sanan smiled at Kondo, but he seemed to me that he was wary of any optimism, as he winced at his mortality being mentioned in plain conversation.
私は人の身に戻りたいなどと言った覚えはありません。
The Shinsegumi were adamant about their reasons in continuing their research and experiments. This made it seem like an impossible task for either Dr. Matsumoto or Iba to convince them otherwise, as the stakes were close to the chest.
医者としちゃ複雑だがな。三男君や大使たちの命がかかってるとあっては実験を取りやめろとも言えんか。
早急に高堂さんの行方を見つけ出すほかなさそう。
私は何かあった時のために薬を調合してみることにするよ。
そんなことはありません。お二人の気遣いはありがたく受け取っておきます。
Although there were reservations about what's to come, the conversation settled kindly at last. Oh no, the tea's cold. I'll go make a fresh pot right away. I stood up. I grabbed the tray with everyone's cups on it and went out into the hallway. Then I saw someone run off in a panicked state down the hall. I squinted to get a peek, and it looked like... I ran after him, tray in hand, to get a better look. Wait! I turned the corner and I caught up to the hustling shadow. I knew it was him, and he stood there waiting. Yeah, Dio eavesdropping. For real, for real. Well, I could almost feel the blood draining from my body as the pressure to answer overwhelmed me. I did my best to stay composed, and I stood up straight, ready to answer. Were you listening to the conversation in Kano's room in the hallway just now? Takada snorted, deflecting the question, and he turned to question me back. Bitch. Well, no, but... As I stumbled for words, Takeda seemed smug as if he'd stumped me. What should I do? God, I guess I've never been at this choice. Call for someone? Call for Iba's. I like that. Iba! Takeda is technically a captain of the Shinsegumi, and I had no way of knowing how much, if anything, he had heard in that room. If I answered his question by giving out information that wasn't entitled to give, then I would be in deep trouble. I have to brew some tea, so if you'll please excuse me. I bowed, turning around to rush towards the kitchen. Takeda snagged my shoulder with a tight grip. Ow! Let go of me. I told you I need to be somewhere.
話はまだ終わっていない。
I closed my eyes tightly, and in my head I saw... Not Kondo, nor Hijikata, but for some reason it was Iba. Help me, As I attempted to scream, Takeda covered my mouth with his coarse hand.
声を出すな。一体誰を呼ぼうとしている？
You did call it. The game is reading me like a book. I cannot. Don't scream. Try to call.
あの男、伊庭と言ったか。将軍奥詰めとかいう大層な位。
God, it's gonna be so good if Iba like comes and saves me. Oh my god.
局長や副長に余計なことを吹き込んででもいたのではあるまい。
I was struggling under Takeda's grasp, and even thought my mouth was covered. I could
余
shake.
計なことね。話されるとまずいことでもあるんですか？お茶組からなかなか戻らないので、少し気になって来てみたんですが。
I love him. Oh my god.
あなたは確か武田さんでしたか？お久しぶりです。
I'm losing my mind out here. Even though Iba was smiling, his eyes were intently focused on Takeda. He looked guarded. He acted all shy when you called him gallant. Yeah. Takeda seethed with contempt, biting his lip. Iba gently guided me back to him protectively. Oh, Iba gently guided me behind him protectively, and he whispered. Okay. Whew. Focus. Oh my god.
嬉しかったです。
It made his day. Oh, okay. Oh. Oh. Remembering that moment made my cheeks flare up. Why did I scream Iba's name instead of one of the other warriors? Girl, you know why. We know why.
外部には明かせぬ大使同士の情報交換をしていたのだ。部外者は引っ込んでいる。そもそも貴様、今日は一体何の用でこの投資を？
Stage 1 denial.
松本先生に同行させてもらったんです。大使の健康状態について話し合わなくてはならないとのことでしたので。
どこまで本当なのや。
Takeda didn't appear to believe Iba for a second, but
言いたいことがあるのなら近藤さんの前で尋ねてくださって構いませんよ。そうなると僕もあなたのことで近藤さんに話さなくてはならないことができてしまいます。
Iba and Takeda exchanged heated glances for a few more moments. Then Takeda broke the stare, looking away in an irritable manner.
貴様などに言いたいことなどない。私はこれで失礼する。
Takeda huffed and walked away. Thanks you so much for helping me, Iba.
どういたしまして。こういう時は遠慮なくお兄さんを頼ってください。子供の頃約束したでしょ。
Oh my god,
何が
that's so fucking cute.
君のことは僕が守ってあげるので。
Yeah. The memory of that time, now far removed, was hazy, but... He really looks like the guy who would walk away in a huff. Have I missed something? Risu, we are down so bad for Iba. My god. Oh yeah, I may or may not be a demon. Still don't know where my dad is. I want to marry this samurai man. I think that's the big things. I think that's the big ones. Oh, some demons tried to come kidnap me one night and Iba saved us. Kind of just woke up. No worries, man. It's Sunday. Sundays are lazy days. I remember Hachiro making his promise to me with his slender hands clasped mine together. Who would have thought that we'd find each other once again, now that we've matured? Your body's still sore. Help Dio. Oh no. After all this time, he kept his promise. Damn it, just kiss him already. Fuck. Then I heard some footsteps creep behind us.
先ほどこちらから武田君が歩いてくるのを見かけましたが。
Sanan. I wasn't sure how to describe the events that had just transpired, but Sanan turned to look at Iba for an explanation anyway.
伊庭君、あなたと武田君は以前も何やら揉め事を起こしたそうですね。
Oh no, the tea is cold. It wasn't Iba's fault. I tried explaining the situation, but Sanan cut me off.
武田君は少し前の私に似ています。これ以上追い詰めるべきではありません。
少し前の三男さん。
Iba looked puzzled at what Sanan, but Sanan just nodded.
彼は甲州流軍学を治めた人物として体内で非常に頼りにされていました。
Ah, I remembered the mood during the time of Ito's first arrival. That's right. It was Ito's presence that served as the straw that broke the camel's back for Sanan, which drove him to drink the water of life. Sanan smiled with clear self-diversion.
彼もこの新選組の中に居場所を見出そうと必死なのですよ。
だからといって弱い立場の者に当たり散らすような真似をして許されるはずがないでしょう。
まあ、確かに己の立場を重ねきて威張り散らすあたりは小物以外の何者でもありませんが、窮鼠猫を噛むという言葉もありますからね。
Sanan followed his statement with a stoic gaze in Iba's direction.
気をつけた方がいい。小物だと侮っていると痛い目に遭うかもしれませんよ。
はい。肝に銘じておきます。
Sanan raised an eyebrow at Iba's response, then he curtly bowed and turned around. He made a swift return to his room, looking over his shoulder as if to avoid being seen by others. Iba looked as if he had something more to say as he watched Sanan go. I wouldn't blame him. Sanan, whom he'd known since the Edo days, had become a fury. I'm sure he feels the pain and loss in his own way, a way different from Kondo's or Hichikata's. After a silent pause, Iba looked at me.
あなたもなるべく武田さんには気をつけてください。決して二人きりにならないように。
Yeah, I know.
何かあれば手紙で知らせてくださいね。
Oh my god!
急いで駆けつけますから。
Thank you so much. I knew that I couldn't let my guard down, but in this moment I felt so safe and relieved with him. After sharing a smile, Iba and I returned to the room. Pen pal unlocked. Both Kondo and Dr. Matsumoto seemed to be so wrapped up in their conversation about physical exams, it was as if they didn't realize we had left the room.
そういえば先生、健康診断の方はどうでしたか？
ああ、それなんだがな。頭を抱えて。
それは
なぜも何も。怪我人や病人を合計したら全体士の3分の1近くになるじゃないか。
What?
なんとじゃないぞ近藤さん。あんたらは今まで何をやってたんだ。切り傷からしぶり腹まで。この豚書は病の見本市だぞ。
Ew, lice? Gross. What?
まさかそんなことになっていたとは。
まずは病室を用意してそこに病人を運び込んでくれ。それから豚書を清潔にしてもらわんと話にならん。
承知しました。すぐに取り掛かります。
So we were ordered to clean the entire compound. Dr. Matsumoto came the next day to inspect the cleanliness of the compounds.
まあまあ綺麗になったじゃないか。
だろ？この筋肉は飾りじゃねって。
Oh, for fuck's
先生
sake.
もようやく分かってくれたみてえだな。
人を動かすという点に関しては軍略も掃除もさして変わりませんがゆえ。
What a schmuck.
あんた文句言ってただけだ。
Yeah, there we go. That sounds right.
でも掃除は一日休んでたんだろ。ずるいよな、みんな頑張ってる時に。
しょうがないじゃない。土方さんが過保護なんだから。
前が変な咳するからだろうが。養生しねえからいつまでも治らねえんだよ。
しかしやはりこうして片付いていると気分がいいものです。
まあな。これはこれで悪くね
え。よし、これからは毎日掃除するか。
おう、頼んだぜ平介。
なんで俺だけなんだよ。体力自慢の新発さんが真っ先に働くべきだろ。
I'll help too, Heisuke.
そっか。そんじゃ明日から二人で頑張ろうな。
Oh, you're gonna help fuck the other guy then.
おいおい、ちょっと待てって。誰もやらねえとは言ってねえだろ。お、そこにまだゴミがあるじゃねえか。ちょうどいい。いや、だから明日からだろ。なあ、平介。
片付けたそばから暴れるな。怒りが立つ。
I was enjoying the banter until I noticed something. Huh? I could see just Okita and Dr. Matsumoto outside, walking off somewhere together. Where could they be going, I wondered. Wasn't expecting that. Okay, I really want to go see because I bet there's a lot of drama, but I also bet that that's like for an Okita route, and I don't think we really need to care that much when we're trying to get our samurai man. I think I'm just gonna go with... Yeah, it's not my business. Priorities. It's true. The priority is trying to get Iba. We want the good ending. We want to see a good ending with Iba. If he dies, I will cry. Yeah, I think we'll just say it's none of my business. It's, you know, it's none ya business. I was worried about Okita, but he'd be fine so long as Dr. Matsumoto was with him. After the excitement wound down, I excused myself and went back to work. Stick to the Iba route. I'm trying. It's like weird. This one is not like really like... At least I feel like we're not in a set route. I feel like it just gives you the decisions and you have to pick the yes... Like option 1 is like good for this guy but bad for that guy. And like option 2 is good for that guy or bad for that guy. You know what I mean? Whereas like in Edo Blossoms, it's literally like after you read the prologue, it says like, alright, which man do you want? And then you pick that route and that's the story you read. And then like you pick this or that and it's like it edges you toward the good or bad ending. This one feels different though. I don't feel like this one's doing that. So, I mean, who knows? Like, I don't think worrying about Okita being sick would lead to a bad ending for Iba. But, like, I also don't know. Like, if I go check on Okita, would something have happened where it's like I missed a good Ida point? You know what I mean? So that's where it's like, I don't know. We just gotta try and be thinking at all times, where is Iba? Where is Iba? I was outside sweeping, bamboo brew in hand as he appeared. Huh? Don't come any closer. His voice was deep, and it felt as if he were exhumed from the depths of the earth, cowering me. Slowly I turned around. What the fuck? God, I love Kazuma. Gotta work on the Iba radar. God, though, Kazuma was my first husbando in this game, and it's still really hard to not just not simp. Kazuma! His face was a mixture of surprise and sneering disgust as he looked down through me with cold eyes. I held the broom in both hands like a staff and stepped into what I was hoping was a fighting stance. Kazuma, the new husbando? He was the first husbando in this game. He was the first husbando. Like, the very first time I read this book, I was literally reading it so I could be with Kazuma. And in Edo Blossoms, too. Oh, yeah? Yeah. He laughed with a disdain, snorting at my weapon. Bitch! He really said, you gonna come at me with a broom? Oh, LOL. Try it, bet. His tone was mocking, and his eyes were like 2 chips of ice. This was a dangerous man. You're telling me. Oh my god. What was I to do? I could hardly face him alone.
今日は戦いに来たわけ。お前と関わりがあると確かめに来た。
My father? I was staring at him, stunned by the statement.
父だ。それは行動。
If you're talking about Kodo Yukimura, then yeah, he's my father. Yeah, baby, I gotta go write a letter real quick. At first, he seemed surprised, but then he wore a malicious grin, as if he became privy to something. Why are you asking about my father? I lowered the broom, the situation temporarily forgotten when...
敵地に単独で忍び入る。俺たちも舐められた。
Oh shit. Hijikata.
昼間っから何しに来やがった。女を口説くにはまだ早い時間だぜ。
こいつに近づくんじゃねえ。
Harada and Heisuke.
庭掃除にしちゃ切羽詰まった声が聞こえた。
大丈夫か？怪我してねえか？
Yeah, don't worry about me, I'm fine.
そうして群れる様は犬猫のこと。ほざいてやがれ。
I could feel the tension rising by the second, but it was Kazuma who attempted to cut through it.
遊んで欲しければ相手をしてやらぬが。あいにく今日は用事を済ませに来た。それから俺は中古だ。ただの人間を鬼に作り変える。
What? Humans into demons? Was he talking about the water of life?
てめえには関係ねえ。
おう、白昼堂々と女を襲うようなゲスの言い分なんざ聞く。
この俺が情けをかけて忠告してやっている。弱い犬ほどよく吠えるとはよく言ったものだ。
ここは俺らの領分だ。オタクを並べてないでとっとと帰りやがれ。
He looked away from the captains as if entirely uninterested in them and flashed a cold gaze to me. Turn humans into demons by biting it. Stop. No, it's not that vampire coded, I swear. No. I mean, I wouldn't be mad at it. What? His mysterious smile gave me nothing in the way of explanation. Then, with a slow rippling motion like a shadow sliding on the ground, he turned his back and vanished. What were demons, and why did they come after me? My father was with them on their side? He must have meant, but did he mean he was working with the Imperialists? The inside of my head was swirling with a mass of questions and doubts, but one thing the most concerned was shit. I want to say my father, because I feel like Iba would help us find Dad. Right, you know, in that meeting, Iba was like, so our best bet is to find her dad as quick as possible. Pretty sure he said that. So I think we're going to pick father here. I think. Yeah, that tracks. Okay, good. Yeah. What had become of my father? Did my father really betray the Shogun? Stop. I thought he was working for the Shogun. And how was Kazuma so familiar with my father? The more I thought about it, the more I realized just how little I actually knew.
まあ別に尊攘派って言っても全員が全員長州老士みたいな奴らじゃねえしさ。そもそもあの風間ってやつが本当のことを言ってるとも限らねえだろ。もしかしたらお前の動揺を誘うために言ってるのかもしれねえし。
そうだな。裏を取らねえ情報を鵜呑みにするのは危険だぜ。
I suppose.
行動さん探しには観察をいずれまた情報も入る。
Thank you. I hadn't really expected any of them to be so nice to me. It was a pleasant surprise. The only reason they allowed me to stay was because I was my father's daughter, and that hadn't changed. But... oh, that's kind of nice. That's cute. Thanks, Heisuke. Of course. Thank you. Their words, Heisuke especially, brightened my spirits a bit. From then on, Matsumoto visited the compound regularly to check on the men of the Shinsengumi. Ever since Sanan had become the leader of the Furies, the group was named the Fury Corps. Still, I couldn't help but wonder, was it really all right to continue researching the Furies? My heart was heavy with worry. Without him, the Shinsengumi would be nothing. We could cease to exist. If so, then why? Clean your desk. Good luck. 1868. May. Okay. Actually, I think I might wrap it up here. Seeing as how chapter 3 is going to be one thick bick, as Muffin had researched. We're not even like halfway through it. Or maybe we are halfway now. We might be like halfway through chapter 3 now. It's a thick bick. It's a good stopping point. Man, I didn't know Hakuoki would be this long though, if I can be real. We're close to the end of it? Oh, okay. Well, that's fine. We'll finish it next time with whatever chapters are left. Or the next chapter, I should say. Again, Edo Blossoms was so short. I thought this was going to be like 3 or 4, like, streams max. No joke. Because that's how long it took me to read Edo Blossoms. But, you know? I don't know. Maybe this one is just chunkier. Or maybe the Kazuma route is just so short that I didn't think about it. It would still probably take a while given how long there are between the decisions. Oh, yeah, okay, I get you. I get you. Okay. But, hey. Update though, as soon as we do finish this route, I did get my hands on the second book of Higurashi, so we'll be able to start that at some point. As soon as we finish Iba's route here. It's been fun. Good. Yeah, no. These, like, Sunday streams, at first I was like, these are for me. I don't know if anyone's even gonna, like, want to watch me read a book, but I don't know. I like our little book club. I think it's really fun. I'm glad you guys come hang out. I appreciate you. Higurashi? Yeah. The next book of Higurashi. I got that one. Priority is getting the Iba route done. I'm trying so hard. Like, I literally don't even remember him the first time I read this. But again, I was just so busy simping for Kazuma that I don't remember anybody else at all. So yes, looking forward to it. Good. Alright, lamb chops. I will be putting the weekly schedule up in a little bit later today. No other real big updates. Tomorrow I'm thinking Monster Hunter though, so we'll have a Monster Hunter Monday to chill. Tunnel vision on Cosmo. It was so bad, bro. Oh my god. That's why as soon as we started Edo Blossoms, I was just like, I didn't even look at anyone else's names. I was just like, where's the Kazuma route? There it is. Click, you know. Alright, guys. Well, I hope you have a good rest of your day and have a good night. All that stuff. Thanks for hanging out. I hope I see you next time, okay? Bye-bye.